I also wanted to ask, because your research, like especially critiquing the medical model of mental illness, that's quite contradictory to some of the themes in mainstream psychology in some ways. So I was wondering if you could talk about like why exploring like the ideologies of society is important to you. Like why challenging the status quo is important to you.
The work on challenging the medical model of psychology is dangerous work. It's very easily misunderstood. To suggest that I'm dismissing the reality and the pain of women's experiences, or even the embodiment of women's experiences, and that's not at all what I'm suggesting. But that whole area of work, and that's something that Janet let me fly with, came from the interview. So I'm always saying to students, let the data be your guide, and so it came from the interviews, and so that's where my interest came from, is looking at when I interviewed women who were depressed and their experiences of emerging from that depression or recovery. Some of them used the word, some of them didn't. They struggled with how to make their sense of their experiences, given the dominance of the medical frame for understanding that. So I followed their struggles and unpacked it, and that's where that line of inquiry came from.
Just delve a little more into your experience with interviewing women who have had experiences with the medical model. What was your reaction to hearing their stories? Did it sort of line up with your expectations? Was that?
I heard the whole gamut, the whole range of from women who were saying, I was diagnosed and given medication and it was life-saving, and those who really reacted against it and said, there's nothing wrong with my brain. It was situations in my life, and becoming a feminist was central to my recovery. So I interviewed women across that whole spectrum. And I think my training and my positioning from a more clinical perspective enabled me, because when you are talking face to face with one woman who's talking about her experiences of pain and distress, you're just right with them. So I believe all of them, and I want to support all of their understandings and their experiences. I also want to unpack why they're all working, why all these different ways of understanding are working. So I think it's really important that we're respectful and honoring, but that doesn't deny our ability to critique and unpack. So trying to do both, hold both at the same time is important.